Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Erkenhelm again. Today I'm bringing you another one of my replays from PAX East. This one is going up against Joe. A couple weeks ago you saw one between Joe and Alexander, so you're going to get to see him again. As we mentioned in that video, this is a gym leader usually known as Oceanus. Unfortunately, he missed the cutoff date this year, so came in as a challenger. You could probably guess by the name Oceanus, he's used to water types, and not seeing a whole lot of water types on his team. So he's a little bit out of his element. But it was fun to battle him with something other than water type Pokemon. So you can see he's coming in with a Sceptile, he's got a Haxorus, an Arcanine, a Trevenant, a Tentacruel, and a Frostlass. I know from looking at his team that a Sceptile is most likely his Mega Pokemon. It's the only one that can Mega Evolve, so that's probably what it is. Very fast and has really good special attack. Definitely a huge threat. Then he has his Haxorus. It's a pure Dragon type, which I don't think there are a whole lot of those. And it can be very scary if you can let it set up a Dragon Dance or two. It can hit really hard with Outrage. Arcanine, obviously I know how much damage an Arcanine can do, or more specifically how long it can last in battle. Very good potential defensive wall there. And also has the capability to do some decent damage. Trevenant is another one that can stick around for a really long time. Has that harvest ability. It has a 50% chance every turn to get back his berry. So it can, have a citrus berry, it can heal itself repeatedly, or it could have a lum berry or any other berry that cures status effects, and something like that. It's a really good ability to have, and it's got pretty good attack, so it can do some damage as well. The Tentacruel is very good special defense. Possible, Rapid Spinner, get some hazards out of the way. Could also set up some hazards with Toxic Spikes. You can get 2 layers up. Every Pokemon that is touching the ground that comes in gets Toxic, which is really tough to deal with a lot of the times. Frostlass, looking at his team, is probably his start. Usually you see a Frostlass with a Focus Sash, and then it gets Destiny Bond. It's very fast, and it gets that first turn to maybe do a little damage, or maybe paralyze, or something like that. Then it has the Focus Sash, so it can't get one shot. And then the next turn, because it's fast, it can get the Destiny Bond and can take down the opponent with it. So mostly a suicide lead for the most part. But let's see how Joe goes about this in this battle. So as you can see here, he starts with the Frostlass, as I kind of expected. And I start with my Galvantula, as probably expected. Now we see here that Galvantula is faster. I would have thought that Frostlass was faster, but it may be a speed tie, or maybe his wasn't timid or didn't have full speed investment or something. So luckily I'm able to outspeed it there and get up my Sticky Web before the taunt comes off, which was really good, because that otherwise would have been a wasted turn for me, and I wouldn't have had my Sticky Web up, which, as you've seen, is very useful. So you saw there he gets, I believe it was Toxic Spikes. I missed it for sure, but I did see Spikes go up. And there's that Destiny Bond we mentioned. But we see there, it must have been a speed tie, because he went first the last turn, after I went first the turn before, and then I went first this turn. I think that's what happened. But he gets me with the Destiny Bond. Now, for me that wasn't a very big deal, because I got my Sticky Web up, and I took down a Pokemon. So Galvantula's main purpose was the Sticky Web. Anything else after that was gravy. So I was fine with him going down to the Destiny Bond, and that's why I stayed in and didn't try to get around it with a Toxic or something like that. So you see with my Espeon coming in that it was actually regular spikes, not toxic spikes. I'm not sure if Frostlass gets toxic spikes. I thought that was a little weird. But they kind of looked purple when they came out. I don't know. So toxic spikes do a little bit of damage, not a whole lot. And we see here that a Tentacruel goes with the infestation that's going to trap my Espeon in there. But as you can see, that actually isn't a huge deal for me. Kind of looks like that infestation might have done more damage than his attack did, because my special defense is max on this Espeon and he has pretty good special defense. But that allowed me to get some walls up and take down the Tentacruel pretty easily to give me one Pokemon advantage. So here comes Trevenant, which I know is usually a physical attacker, so I'm going to go get my Reflect up now. Which that is going to allow me to take the Shadow Claw. I'm very low health, so it's not something I want to stay in on. So I'm going to get out of there, go out to my Arcanine, take the physical hits from the Trevenant very well. Especially when I get the Intimidate off here. So you see that Shadow Claw didn't do a whole lot of damage. I think my leftovers probably healed most of it, if not all of it. So he goes into his Haxorus, which, you know, caught in the sticky web, going to be slowed down, which is really nice. And you see here, I went for the Snarl. Not entirely sure why I didn't go for the Will-O-Wisp. It would have been really good for the Trevenant. And then it would have been really nice if he switched in this Haxorus, because his Haxorus would have been burned right off the bat. So you see here, like I mentioned, Haxorus going for the Dragon Dance. That's when it starts to become really powerful. But this turn I go for the Burn, which is going to cut its attack in half. So even after that Dragon Dance, his attack is still reduced. So it's definitely going to help me out here. So after one Dragon Dance, he decides to go for the Earthquake, see what he can do. Super effective against my Arcanine, but as you can see with that burn and Arcanine's defense and max in his HP, it doesn't do much. So fortunately I was able to nullify this huge potential threat before it was able to set up, and so therefore it's not going to be able to do a whole lot. So here he's going to go for the Outrage, try and get the stab bonus on top of the really high power, try and do a little more than that Earthquake, but it's still not doing a whole lot, so I'm able to take it out. I probably should have gone for the Morning Sun there, instead of attacking, because the burn would have taken him out and it would have put me up at full health. But not a huge deal, I don't think. So in comes his Arcanine. We got Arcanine versus Arcanine. Mine's shiny, so obviously mine's better. So I'm gonna switch into my Tentacruel, because he's gonna resist any type of fire attack that the Arcanine might have, or anything like that. And I believe my Reflect is still up, so even though Tentacruel is more for his special defense, he can, you know, take a physical hit from an Arcanine like that. So you see here, he's just gonna switch out his Arcanine to his Trevenant. I get the Toxic off, but we see here, he's got the Lumberry, so he's gonna be able to heal that Toxic. And as I mentioned before we started the battle, his Harvest ability is going to allow him to have a 50% chance every turn to get that Lumberry back. So going for a Toxic and installing it or anything isn't going to be a great idea. We saw there, I went for the Rapid Spin to get rid of the spikes. Not entirely sure why I did that, because as you saw, Trevenant's a Ghost type, so it doesn't affect him. It didn't do anything. It was a waste of a turn, really. So I'm going to go for the Poison, because it hasn't recovered its Lumberry yet, from what I saw. Try and start doing some chip damage before it recovers from that Toxic. Maybe I can get lucky and get a couple turns so that damage is building up. But I'm going to come into my Espeon here. Unfortunately, it's going to go down to the spike damage. But that is going to allow me to get a free switch into something else. And it's going to prevent the Trevenant from getting, a little bit of health back from that Horn Leech there. I'm going to go into my Mega Pidgeot. Pretty good against a Trevenant because it gets Heat Wave. And I believe Flying is super effective against Grass as well. I'm not 100% sure. There's a lot to remember in this game, so I can't remember everything. So in that case, Hurricane would have been the better option, but at this point I was thinking, hey, Fire is good against Grass. See there, never recovered his Glumberry again, so he didn't heal that Toxic. But that second Heat Wave was enough to take it out. So in comes his Arcanine. It's not going to take many, not going to take a lot of damage from a Heat Wave. But I can do some good damage with a Hurricane. Brings him down to less than 50% health, and it's going to get that Confuse up. The 30% chance is really good chance for confusion with high damage. And we see I get lucky, and the Arcanine hits itself. So that's going to allow me to finish off the Arcanine with a second Hurricane. That Confuse was kind of lucky, although I don't know what moves it had. I don't know if it would have been enough to take me out. So he's going to come into a Sceptile. That Sticky Web I believe is going to help because, as I mentioned, Sceptile is really fast. When it Megas, it gets even faster. But it's going to allow me to go first. Get that Hurricane off. So you see here, yeah, Flying is super effective against the Grass type, so that's able to one-shot the Sceptile, and that's going to finish the battle. It was a very fun battle. Joe is a great guy. He was a lot of fun to battle against and a lot of fun to hang out with. And I did run into him like a couple times every day, and it was cool to talk to him. Hopefully we'll be seeing him again next year as a gym leader again. Because, as mentioned, he missed the deadline for applying this year. And I'm pretty sure he preferred being a gym leader. He was disappointed that he couldn't be one. So hopefully we'll see him again. Probably bring back his water type team because he enjoys the water type. Thanks everyone for watching, checking out this video. As usual, links to everywhere you can find us will be down in the description below. We have a Facebook, we have a Twitter. You can find us on Twitch. We'd really appreciate it if you stopped by and check us out on Twitch, hang out, have a good time. We always do battles with viewers, so if you stop in, there's a really good chance that you're going to be able to get a battle with us. And you're going to start seeing some of our PAX Prime gym leader teams on the stream, I believe this coming week. We're starting to get some testing in on that. So you stop by the streams and you get a little bit of a sneak peek. Also post our website and where you can find our forums. Highly recommend joining our forums. As I always say, we've got a lot of cool people over there. Always willing to help out if you need anything, or talk Pokemon, or talk whatever. A lot of great people. If you live in Australia, or you can get to Australia for PAX Australia, litter applications are still open. They're not going to be open too much longer. I will try and get an exact date for when they close for the next video if possible. But you still do have probably 2 or 3 weeks, but you're running out of time. I'll post the link in the description, where to go to find out more, and how to apply and all that. And even if you decide not to be a gym leader, I highly recommend that you challenge the league. It's a lot of fun. Everyone who does it has a lot of fun. And you get to collect badges, and a lot of the badges look really cool. So thanks again everyone for checking out this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.